What's up guys, my name is ESO and in this video I'll be showing you how to summon the Wise Mothman. And I'll also be showing you how to activate the secret effect which gives you a 5% experience boost for a whole hour. Oh, and also how to get a legendary item too. I will in future be creating a full guide on the lore of Mothman, which includes his backstory and that of his followers, the cult of Mothman, who did in fact worship him, as strange as that may seem. The story is both deep and elaborate, but sadly scattered across the whole map, so I have not yet finished exploring all the details, but feel free to subscribe for more information when I do. Now to summon the Wise Mothman, however, we must come here, to the Pleasant View Lighthouse, located east from Vault 76 on the map. You've probably already visited this location, or gone past it, or even attempted the event, but maybe not completed it. You must be checking this location though until you see the event happening here, named the Path to Enlightenment. Make sure that you join this event as soon as it activates. Even if you're a high level, it's definitely worth doing. Now the event is possible to do on your own, by the way, as I'm doing in this video, but the purpose of this event is to basically run around and kill all of these glowing bugs and the rad toads that spawn here and harvest their bioluminescent fluid. Each firefly drops between 1 and 2, while the rad toads drop between 1 and 4. So ideally we want to focus on killing these rad toads whenever they spawn. Now since these creatures are obviously in the low level zone of the forest, they're going to be really easy to defeat, and that means this event's going to be easy to do at any level. You should have no problem collecting all of the bioluminescent fluid needed for this event. One tip though would be to keep running backwards and forwards between the house and lighthouse. This seems to force the rad toads to actually spawn behind the lighthouse, because the rad toads are the best source of bioluminescent fluid, so you're going to want to keep doing that as often as possible to farm them. You need a total of 50 bioluminescence, so keep checking your Pip-Boy as you go to keep track of how much you've got, and once you have acquired all 50, make your way to the top of Pleasant View Lighthouse. On your way up, you will also see a note addressed to the High Priestess, but I'll talk about that more in a moment. First, we must light the beacons of Gondor. Place all of the bioluminescent fluid into the lighthouse lantern and voila! It will begin to glow an irradiated green tinge. You will get rewarded for completing the Path to Enlightenment as well as a bunch of random chems. You also get a legendary item as well. I actually got a cloaking effect, which means when you get hit in melee, you randomly get turned invisible. You can then outplay your opponent because you're invisible. But just over the balcony, you will see the Wise Mothman has spawned. Clearly, he was attracted to the luminous glow from the lighthouse lantern, like a moth to a light. You can head downstairs to actually interact with him. Take some pictures and compare the size of your phallus, if you wish. Now, the Wise Mothman is passive and he will not attack you. This is indicated by his purple eyes, when compared to the red eyes of Mothman when he is attacking you, or the yellow eyes of a wary Mothman. But here comes the most important part. To get the 5 experience boost, you must simply interact with him. Then he'll flutter his wings like a beautiful butterfly, even though he is completely ugly and the opposite of one. And then he'll give you a 5% experience boost for the next hour. You can check this on your Pip-Boy. Now I previously mentioned this note that we walked past on top of the lighthouse, addressed to the High Priestess of the Cult of the Moth. It reads as follows. High Priestess. I was right. The fireflies come here to mate. They go a little crazy and I got hurt pretty bad, but I was able to gather enough goo to light the lamp. Now I just have to wait. The great Mothman will come. He has to. Now at first glance, it may appear that Mothman never arrived to answer these people's prayers. And you may be wondering why the cult of the Moth worshipped him. What do they have to gain by following such a strange creature? Well, I don't want to spoil too much, but the Mothman did indeed come and he did indeed warn the cult about an impending doom, but it wasn't about the bombs falling, it was about something else. But you guys can subscribe to see my full video on the lore of Mothman as soon as it's finished. For now, let's check out the quaint house opposite the lighthouse, because I'm sure some among you, just like me, must have questioned why the heck there's a lighthouse this far inland when we're nowhere near to the ocean. Was it constructed by the followers of Mothman? No. Let's read this terminal. Welcome to Landview Lighthouse, the most unusual lighthouse in Appalachia. Nestled in the mountains of West Morgantown, Landview Lighthouse offers a beautiful 360-degree view of the surrounding area from its gallery deck. The origins of this landlocked lighthouse are as unusual as the lighthouse itself. Originally conceived as a theoretical concept by engineering students from Morgantown, the concept was ruthlessly mocked by students from a rival university. On a dare, the students decided to make the project a reality, and its construction became a point of pride for everyone involved. The project soon took on a life of its own. Overcoming many obstacles, the lighthouse was eventually erected in October of 2036. It was dedicated to Donald and Shirley Jameson, the two professors who helped spearhead the project from the very beginning. Now retired, the Jamesons lived in a nearby house where they serve as lighthouse keepers full-time, keeping it functional solely on the donation money from visitors. Construction. Before construction began, over a year was spent consulting with the lighthouse enthusiast community for general tips, guidelines, and pitfalls to avoid. From these conversations, it became clear that it couldn't come across just as another tourist trap that you see on golf courses and at theme parks. It was determined that the lighthouse had to serve as a true aid to navigation, with a working light and authentic architectural design. It had to have an operating beacon and a 360-degree gallery deck for observation. In other words, if they were going to do it, they had to do it right. 3 years later, the completed lighthouse was open to the public. Tourists from all over flocked to the curious structure and raved about the beautiful view of the landscape it provided from atop the trees. Future students continued to develop the landscape over the years by building a lighthouse keeper's house, a picnic pavilion, and general reforestation to recover from previous timber harvests of the surrounding area. Viewing information. Landview Lighthouse is a 102-foot tall structure, thousands of feet above sea level, with 76 steps to climb for visitors to reach the stunning 360-degree gallery deck. The second-tier lamp room features a rotational beacon capable of projecting a beam for over 25 miles. Guests on the 360-degree gallery deck can enjoy unrivaled views of various landmarks in all directions. Beyond the mountain to the north is Grafton, a major shipping hub and a railroad infrastructure for the area. To the east is Morgantown, home of Vault-Tec University and the founders of this very lighthouse. In the distance is the top of the world, located at Pleasant View Valley Ski Resort, featuring the highest elevation in the region. Looking south is the impossible to miss the stunning New River Gorge Bridge, one of the longest bridges in Appalachia. On a clear day, its unmistakable silhouette of the luxury mega mansion of Bramwell can also be spotted. The landmarks that can be viewed from the 360-degree gallery deck are too numerous to mention. Under the right weather conditions, guests have a spectacular view of the entire region. Safe control, and you can also unlock the safe, which is just by the desk here, but it was actually unlocked anyway when I came here, so no problem there for me. So there you have it. That is why they built a lighthouse in the middle of nowhere this far inland. Seems rather typical that the rival university would mock the students of Vault-Tec for pursuing such a bizarre endeavour. What I found particularly retarded was the fact that they decided, after being mocked by the other students, that they would then build the most pointless structure here in the valley. And despite efforts, I guess it has become one of those tourist traps in West Virginia. Obviously though, for those of you wondering, this lighthouse does not exist in real life for good reason. But I mean, it would be a good place for a viewing platform. But to build a lighthouse here, laughable. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will leave a playlist down below in the description of some other secrets and cool weapons and armors you can find. I've got a different playlist for each one because there's so many different things to find in this game and lots of stuff to miss, but you actually have to read into it to find the interesting information out. And I know a lot of people don't like to do that, but thanks for watching guys. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye and have a fantastic day.